Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Aston Williams again coming to you live with another amazing episode of the Melanated Travelers Podcast. Y'all already know what we call ourselves, aka the New Green Book, aka the #1 travel podcast in the world for the African diaspora and minorities across the world. So this episode for me is very, very special, and I'll share that with y'all why it's so special in a minute. But this is season 2. If you haven't had a chance to listen to season 1 yet, or if you're vibing with the podcast, be sure to leave a review. The reason why I say that, guys, is that for one, I'm highly competitive. Being a former athlete, I want to get y'all reviews in so I can see what I can do to make the show better. Things that y'all might want, more topics for me to discuss. Potential guests that you want on the show. It's to help us improve. Another way for you to support, you can go to the link that's going to be attached to the show notes, and also the link that's going to be attached on the YouTube channel. If you want to support the channel, I have those links there. And really support for me is just telling me how much you like the podcast, writing a review. We do have a way for y'all to support us on a monthly basis, but again, that's however you want to support it. We accept it. So back to this amazing guest. So I have Miss Kayla Delores. Kayla Delores. Now, and I'll go into the story about her after I give her the intro that she deserves. So I have Kayla Delores here. She's a beauty. She's a beauty and lifestyle content creator. Where you hailing from, by the way? Where you hailing from?
Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida. Shout out to Disney. Shout out to Mickey. My favorite is Universal, though. I like Universal. But yeah, so she's hailing out of Orlando, Florida. She is the owner of Grandma's Hands Haircare. She has her own hair care line that's absolutely amazing. And what makes this episode special for me is that her passion for travel, her content, her daily inspiration, not only through travel, not only through lifestyle, but through God. Now, I know as listeners, I know everybody may not be Christian, but I have to stand firm on my faith. And the type of content that she puts out there is, for one, is enlightening, is inspirational, and she is truly a woman of God that stands on the word of God through her lifestyle, through her business, everything that she does. It flows through that. So I really do appreciate you for being authentic, because in 2023, in a society where back in the day when we was going through school, right, they took God out of the schools, right, and you still stand firm on your faith, and that's just amazing to see. So she's been traveling. She found her love for traveling when she met her fiance. But when I met her, that was her boyfriend at the time. So we're gonna dive into that story. But their first trip was actually to the Bahamas, and ever since then they find different countries and different places to travel throughout the year together. And again, guys, I am 100% excited about this episode. This episode is very personal for me, and I'm so ready to dive into it so she can just give us so many different gems. So again, Miss Kayla Delores, welcome.
Thank you. That was such an amazing introduction for one. Thank you. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
You're welcome. So I mean, we can
So
shift
happy
gears
to
straight
be
into
here.
it. Yeah, we can shift gears straight into it. So guys, it's pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing episode because, for one, Miss Kayla, I actually met her in El Salvador. And for those that have listened to numerous episodes in season 1, I bring up the fact that my first country was El Salvador. And so being from South Louisiana, being from New Orleans, my layover was in Florida, and then I took that flight to El Salvador. Well, for one, for those that don't know, El Salvador is a country that you will be required to show your return ticket. Not every country is like that. Whenever I did arrive to the country, I think it was like $12 to enter, but that $12 you can use that to get to Guatemala and also Honduras as well. So that $12 covers entries to the other two countries that surrounded it, by the way. But I booked the one way, and when I got to El Salvador, the customs agent was like, show me your return ticket. I was like, what return ticket? He was like, you need to book a return ticket now. I won't give you an entry. But anyway, long story short, guys, I seen Kayla and I seen her boyfriend at the time, and let's give him the shout out that he deserves. So what's your fiance's name?
His name is Bert.
Bert. Bert.
Yeah.
Bert. So
Mhm.
man, I seen them two in the airport, and I'm gonna be honest, guys, that was my first time leaving the country. I was more introverted at the time. I didn't speak, but I was happy to see that they had somebody that looked like me, because we're gonna dive deeper into El Salvador, but y'all were the only ones that look like
Yeah.
me. I was happy to see y'all. You know what I mean? Like, it was good to see y'all. But what's
Yes.
the crazy part about this story is that I didn't speak, and then I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll never see them again ever. And then I decided to go down and hike the highest mountain. Call us crazy, right? To hike
Oh
the highest
God.
mountain, in El Salvador, which is Santa Ana, and then I see them again. So that's a
Mhm.
story, y'all. And then I just took a chance and just started talking to them, and we've been friends ever since. So
Yeah.
that's just to add some concept. So let's dive into El Salvador, and what made you? Well, we can backtrack. Like,
Okay.
so your first country was the Bahamas.
Yes.
How do you and your fiance go about planning your trips? How you go about deciding what countries you want to go to? What's your strategy?
I'll give you two answers with that. So our first country was Bahamas, but with Bahamas it was on a cruise. So it wasn't like you had to do
Mm.
too much planning with that. So we did the I think they changed the name, but it was Bahama Paradise at the time. It was literally like a 3 day cruise. We just went to the Bahamas. It was a Friday through Sunday small trip. Him and I was only dating probably like a couple months at that time. So why am I going on trips already? But okay, we did. So it was just a quick little getaway. We were still in school at the time. So that was I wouldn't I you know how we actually found that trip though? Through Groupon. So if you all have
Wow.
Groupon, definitely switch your settings to travel because there are some discounts on Groupon when it comes to travel. Just a little tip. I'm giving out tips already. So Groupon, that's how we found that trip, and it was like less than $200 for the two of us, and it was really really nice. It's a vlog on my channel about that. Now, when we're going out of the country and we're flying and we're staying and all of that, unless it's a country we really want to go, like, hey, we really want to go here, we kind of, well, my fiance is really the one who does it, but we go on Google Maps, we type in for Fort Lauderdale Airport, because that's usually where we fly out, and we pull up the map. We pull up the map and see what's the cheapest location that we haven't been to. That's how we done for El Salvador, Costa Rica, and we could talk about other trips I've been on, but pretty much every trip, unless it was a planned trip that we want to go to this location, we pull up the map because we're just interested in learning all the different cultures. So yeah, that's how we travel. Unless it's like, we have to go to this location for something. But yeah, we just pull up Google Maps and we'll sit down, we'll look at it. After we look at it, if it's a good price, we'll maybe watch a YouTube video about it, a vlog or travel
Hmm.
vlog, see if it's something that we'll be interested in. If it's stuff that we like to do there, we like to eat some good food, we like to see the nightlife. So if it's giving that on the vlogs, then most likely we're gonna try it out for ourselves.
So actually, that's the first time a guest actually brought up Groupon, like
Mm,
like ever. So y'all
yeah.
y'all heard it here first. That's a great gem. That's a great gem. Switch your categories over more so to travel to see what's
Mm-hmm.
out there. That's a great gem. I gotta bring this up. Sometimes I'm very envious of my friends that live in these states and cities. Orlando. Oh, hey, Kayla, how you doing? Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Los Angeles, New York,
Cheap flights.
Chicago. I'm like the best deals ever. And
Mm-hmm.
little New Orleans. All we got is a direct flight to Mexico, Cancun, and Honduras. Honduras is a direct flight, and I think
Mm-hmm.
Guatemala will be direct too. But
Okay.
what bothers me the most is that we live right here in New Orleans, and you telling me I can't get a direct flight to Mexico City? Like, really? Like,
Yeah.
come on now, MSY. Look, somebody that worked for MSY.
Come on, get it
For those
together.
that don't know what MSY is, Louis Armstrong International Airport. Y'all need to add like Mexico City and some more cities and countries in Central America, please and thank you. Please and thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead and upgrade y'all.
Facts. Facts. So let's talk about so Bahamas was your first country. I wanna get your initial reaction, and it's a kind of complex question, and I can
Okay.
break it down, but I want to get your initial reaction of going to your first country, even though it was a cruise. Regardless, that's still a different country. Um, when you started traveling, what type of preconceived notions did you have prior to getting to those countries? Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Um, in America, in the news, we paint the picture as we're the best country ever,
Yeah.
and we should not. These countries you should not go to. Now you might say, well, the Bahamas is happy, is close to Florida, but
Mhm.
it's still outside of U.S. territory, and
Yeah.
you're going to an area that's unknown. So, did you have any preconceived notions prior to going on your first international trip? And when you got there, how did those preconceived notions get shattered by just you immersing yourself in the Bahamian culture?
So I didn't really have any preconceived notions for the Bahamas, just because I feel like it is so close to Florida. Like to get to the Bahamas, because I actually did a quick day trip to the Bahamas before too. It's literally 2 hours on a ferry, so it's super close. Now, one thing I did notice, well, I would say something that people think about when it's travel or think have this notion is that traveling outside the country is so expensive. People just
Mm-hmm.
think that when me and my fiance travel, what do y'all do for a living? Y'all travel so much. Y'all are always gone somewhere. Honestly, I tell them that I feel like it's less money to travel out of the country than traveling in states. Because you got to think about it. Restaurants in the Bahamas, you can eat good for probably $20. Whereas here, you're not going to get that much for $20. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing. People think that it's so expensive to travel. You have to think these are different countries where our dollar can go so much further. So that's one thing. Once you get there, maybe the flight may be, maybe, because like I said, we always find deals, but maybe your flight, maybe your lodging might be a little, but once you get into your day to day of the country, it's really not. I actually went to Colorado for my 25th birthday, and my gosh, I could have probably went on 3 different international trips from what I paid for going to these cold snowy mountains. Like it was beautiful, but a cabin, the snowmobile, the all of that, I probably could have been on the beach, probably 3, 4 of them. So that was one, and it's just so beautiful there. The people are so sweet. Their people are so nice. I feel like, and the gratitude there. They're happy you're there. They work hard for their money. You can tell even when they're trying to sell you something or trying to do different things. They're diligent. They work hard for their money. They're not lazy, and you can
Mm-hmm.
tell that when you go to these different countries. Like honestly, we have it good here in a way. They are working outside all day, trying to get a sale, provide for their family. And they're just not lazy. And then the water, just Bahamas, the water was so beautiful. I was born in South Florida, West Palm Beach, so 5 minutes from the beach. And I always tell my mom, I'm like, why is our water so dingy looking? And like the Bahamas water was such a beautiful, clear, you can see your toes in the sand under the water. So just the water there was just so beautiful, so clear. Um, it was just nice. It was just beautiful.
That's dope. What type of activities would you recommend there? Like in the
Um,
Bahamas?
Yeah, we did the jet ski. So we did jet skiing and we did it was a jet ski tour. That was actually our first time on a jet ski, so that was cool. Him and I we were just out there in the water jet skiing all over the place. I'm holding on for dear life. So that was a lot of fun. And what else did we do? The food. We did like a all you can eat type buffet at one of the restaurants in Bahamas, and it was just so so good. It was like different jerk chicken, different. Just this was probably like 5 years ago, so I don't remember all of the cuisine, but the food was good. And we did an all you could eat buffet and all you could drink. So we were getting Bahama Mamas, You gotta go. If you're going to Bahamas, if you're going to Bahamas, you're gonna get the Bahama Mama because they're gonna be like Bahama Mama, and they're so good. So if you like sweet drinks, I should say.
Yeah.
But that's what we did. Because we were only there for like the cruise was like 3 days, so we didn't do much at all. It was just a quick little getaway, but it was fun.
I would love to do carnival there. I know that
Mm,
sometimes the Bahama gets overshadowed by Jamaica and
yeah,
these other Caribbean islands. I'm
hmm
gonna be honest, the Bahamas get overlooked a lot.
they do.
It does. And you know, when people think about carnival, they think about obviously the number one carnival in the world is Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and
Yeah.
then you have Trinidad and Tobago. I'll tell you one, and I shared this on the past episode, is that the third one might shock you, and it's one probably you never would have thought of. But the third biggest carnival in the world is in Barranquilla, Colombia. It's actually in
Really?
Colombia. Yeah, and then
I
number
wouldn't have thought
four,
of that at all.
man, shout out to that Boot State, man. Shout out to New Orleans, you heard me? You know, we number four in the world, you know. We number four,
Period.
you know. So yeah. So
Oh
for any of
wow, I just
those
heard.
that haven't experienced, if y'all haven't experienced Mardi Gras in New Orleans, listen to me. Listen to me. You missing out. You missing I'm
And I
telling you.
still haven't experienced it. I think I may be going for my bachelorette party though. That's what all the
Okay,
girls. I think
okay.
that's what we're gonna do. So we'll see. We'll see. I need to experience that.
Got you. It's a different world then. Like, and I know about finding the deals, but even Kayla, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real.
So
You and me, that's the reason why we friends, because we think, and Bert as well, we think we think outside the box. We still
mhm.
chose to go to El Salvador. Like, nobody was talking about El Salvador when we went. Now, and
at all.
it's not a knock to no travel content creators out there. Right? We love the content, but now everybody's talking about it. Now everybody's going to Nawi
Everybody
beach
like
house, right?
you see that
Everybody.
rainbow slide everywhere now. We're not
Yeah.
like everywhere. I'm like, oh, so they're in El Salvador. Or you'll see them that other really popular excursion is the one where they're on the bike on that zip line. You know that I don't
Yeah.
know if you saw
Uh-huh.
it. Now
Uh-huh.
it's everywhere. Everybody.
You talking about Cafe Albania.
Yes,
That's
yes.
Cafe Albania, y'all. So Cafe
Mm-hmm.
Albania, a lot of people don't know this, but Cafe Albania actually has its own rainbow slide as well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't learn that until I came back home, because my trip was very short. It was like 72 hours I was in El Salvador, and then I left, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Cafe Albania, for those that see the travel reels, you see people on the bicycles on the zip line. That's where you can go. They also have a maze. They have a
Yep.
slide. You can surfboard across on the zip
Mm-hmm.
line. You
They
can
have
zip line
swings.
across with just your body. Yep,
Yep.
got everything you need. So let's dive in there. Like, I know y'all look for deals, but what made you decide to say, you know what, I want to go to El Salvador?
That was my fiance. I really, because to be honest, I was like, El Salvador, tell me more. Now, what we did hear about is the pupusas. We heard that they have some really, really good pupusas. And like I said, when
Mm-hmm.
we travel for good food. So we heard a lot about that when we were just researching. But again, it was the cheapest at the time. So, because no one was talking about El Salvador. Even when we were
Mm-hmm.
there, we had a guy come pick us up from the airport. He was even shocked. He's like, "So what made you all come here? Like, no one
Same
comes to
thing.
El
Same.
Salvador. You see two young black people here in El Salvador." He's like, "Okay, so what's going on? Why are y'all here?" And we're like, "We're just here. We're traveling." Like, what kind of question is that? But he was super sweet. But even the locals, we'll get in, like, okay, we went to this, I'll talk about it. We went to this local market. I don't know if you all had the chance to go to it, but it was local. Like, we had to drive through some, well, let me go back. Even the rental car, we actually rented it from our Airbnb lady because she was so sweet. We didn't rent a car from like the actual airport. We
You
rented
need
it
to
from,
drop that link. You need to
okay.
send me that link after.
Oh, I have to go find it. But yes, I'll find it. And she was so sweet. She let us rent her personal car. So, because another tip, me and my fiance, we never do taxis or Uber or anything when we're going out of the country. I used to work with Enterprise, so I had a really, really good discount. I still have that discount, thankfully, because a lot of my friends still work for the company. So we always rent cars wherever we go, and that just gives you the leverage to really go to different places and see different things. So if you're not afraid, I know some people have that fear of driving out of the country. We do it all the time. Nothing has never happened to us. I drive, he drives, he does most of the driving, but we love it because we can leave, go, like
Now
really
let's keep
explore.
it real. Let's keep it real, Kelly. It's a different
What?
type of driving you got to do overseas in certain countries.
And that's why he does it. And that's why he does
It's a
it. He's a
different level.
great driver. Now, yeah, if
It's
you're
no
not,
such thing as straight lanes over there.
you're right.
Like,
Cause you're right. He's looking back at me like, yeah, he's a good driver. He is a great driver. But that's just one thing that we do. And yeah, you do have to be, because El Salvador, they were getting it, but he was sticking with them. And I think that's just him. He's a aggressive but great and safe driver. So yeah, we were able to do that. But back to your question, I just rambled on. What
no,
was the
you
question?
good. You good. You good.
You asked
No,
something
like
about some.
why did you choose El Salvador? So
Oh
now you
yes,
telling us. You telling us. You good.
yeah, it was just the cheapest, and then we just wanted we didn't hear anything about it. Most of the countries that we go to, we never heard anything about it. Aruba, I didn't even know about Aruba at all before we went there. We were like, to be honest, just to go back, we were actually going, where are we going? St. Martin, and they canceled our flight and they gave us a credit. So my fiance said, you know what? I was looking up on Google. We can go to Aruba, same price. We don't have to pay anything extra. Let's go to Aruba. We knew nothing about Aruba. So that was one. But like the question, like you asked, we just saw it was the cheapest, wanted to learn more about the culture, saw they had good food, and that's how we got there. Then we did research. And of course we watched the YouTube videos, the few that were out there. And then now my YouTube video is going viral because so many people are now trying to go to El Salvador.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I have to share a sense of vulnerability, y'all. Is the fact that I wasn't heavy into travel creation and travel blogging whenever I went to El
Mm-hmm.
Salvador, so I don't have that much footage. I was truly enjoying the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that much footage, but one thing that I truly realized, I did do my research prior to going, and I don't know if you knew this at the time, but El Salvador used to be one of the most dangerous
Yeah,
countries
my mom was so
in
scared when we
the
went.
world.
Yes, yes.
Like, used to be one of the most dangerous countries in the world. Now, I won't get into politics. This is not a podcast for that, but the new president that came in, he's young. Actually, he's around our age. Actually, he's in his like mid-30s,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been doing a lot of great things for the country. For those that don't know, El Salvador's currency is the United States dollar.
Mm-hmm.
It is the United States dollar. So if you go to El Salvador, you don't have to convert over anything. Now, if you don't want to use dollars, they do have businesses that accept Bitcoin because he was the first president to actually, integrate Bitcoin into the country. So I have
Mm-hmm.
a souvenir here. I actually have the Salvadorian flag hanging in the back that I got from El Salvador,
Yes, I
and
see
also
it.
this little El Salvador shot glass here.
Yo, yeah, we
So
that's what we do in every country. We have so many shot glasses. Huh. Yeah, and we also get their currency too. But yeah, we have so many shot glasses too.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the currency of the country, y'all. So for y'all that y'all don't know, for those to get information on the country, you know, you can go to travel, and it gives you all the information that you need to find out about the country, to find out about the level that it's in. So if it's a level 1 or level 2, it's pretty safe. Level 3 is like you should reconsider, and level 4 is like you shouldn't go. Just to tell you, Miss Kayla, whenever we went to El Salvador, it was a level 3.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my mom was so, she was like, "Wait, you're going where?" And it's so interesting. Like our family literally looks at us like, "Y'all going where? Then y'all just hear about this. Then y'all just hear about that." Next thing you know, my mom praying over us. But we're grown. We have our own money. We're adults. But trust me, our family was like, "Just be safe." Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I
yeah,
know.
yeah. That leads me to a good question, and it is not a El Salvador specific question, but what's some tactics and ways that you use to stay safe when you're out the country, or if you're abroad too, because every state is different.
Mhm.
What ways do you use to stay safe. And what brings what expands that dynamic is the fact that, you know, back when I went to El Salvador, I did not know any Spanish. I do speak intermediate Spanish now because I take
Mhm.
classes 3 times a week. So after I left El Salvador, I started to take learning the language seriously. But when I was
Uh-huh.
there, I did not know a language. So pulling out my phone to translate, they already know I'm a gringo. And for those
Yeah.
that don't know, gringo is a term used in Latin culture, Latin American culture, when you have an individual that doesn't really know anything about the culture and they don't know the language. So they call us a gringo.
Mhm.
It's not technically an insult. It could be depending on how somebody calls you that, but for the most
Yeah.
part, don't take it to heart. It's just what they call us. But what's some ways that you use to stay safe?
Well, first of all, I feel like when you're even talking to the natives, I feel like confidence is one. Yeah, they know that you're not from there, but if you're not walking up to them nervous and timid, then okay, maybe they like will try something with you. I feel like being that we are well traveled, we're not scared. We're confident when we're talking to them. Yeah, we may have to use our Google Translate, but we're like very confident when we're talking. We're soft. We're and we also stay safe. So one thing that me and my fiance do when we travel, we may go to the nightlife and we may have fun, but we're not out in the wee hours of the night. And when we are staying somewhere, like for instance, we actually never stay in resorts. And people always kind of ask us, like, you're not afraid to stay in an Airbnb in a different country? We research, we look, we read a lot. We may not know, we we read a lot, we read the reviews, and we don't participate in any activities that we know could harm us. For instance, I know when people go out of the country, they want to try whatever's popular in the country. You could take what I'm saying. They may want to get into things that they can't legally get
If they're in
in the
Colombia, they
state.
want to hit some cocaine. They want to do
Yeah,
drugs.
yeah,
They want to
exactly.
try. They want to try. They want to try everything when they're outside the
You say,
country.
I didn't know if you, I
Yep.
didn't know how your
Yep.
podcast
Oh
is. So
no,
I
this
wasn't gonna say
podcast
it.
it's explicit. It's explicit.
So we're
Yeah.
not
It
doing none
got
of
the
that.
E on it.
Yes, we're not doing any of that. We're not participating in that. People have walked up to us and have asked us if you want to try shrooms. They've walked up to us about their weed. They've walked up to us because they see we're young, black. We're quick. No, no. Like my fiance usually, no, we're good. Very quick. And they see that we're not playing with them. They don't try it. So that's one thing. You're out there trying to have a good time, maybe too much of a good time. Now you're not mentally in the right place. We may have a few drinks, but we're never getting intoxicated where we're not aware of our surroundings. So we're making sure that we're one when we're going out to these different places. You'll never catch us slipping. We're watching our surroundings. Just being a woman, I'm always
Oh, you good. You good.
just went on because usually
Oh,
it's 10:30, but so I thought it kicked me out. But yeah, I just feel protected when I'm with my fiance. He's well traveled. He's very friendly. Like we always meeting friends, like how we met you. And yeah, just don't participate in crazy activities. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Yeah, that's usually what we do. Stay confident when you're talking to someone. Don't look like you're lost. We'll even though we don't know where we're going,
mm-hmm.
we're we kind of not blend in because we don't blend in, but we also don't look like we're just puzzled. So that's just how I stay safe. My fiance may have a better answer, but that's how I stay safe. So
I think for me, you spoke volumes just now because I feel like everybody travels different, but
mhm.
I would never be the resort, honestly, or a hotel guy. Let me say this: some countries, the Airbnb is minimal. You know, so
Yeah.
sometimes I may have to switch it up, but for the most
Mhm.
part, I'm an Airbnb type of guy. I love to cook breakfast in the morning. I love to, you know, go to the grocery store and like, you know, feel like a local, like get some
Yeah.
groceries just to throw it in the refrigerator, you know.
Mhm.
Honestly, I may not even need it, you know,
Yeah.
but just to have it in there, you know, midnight snacks, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like
That's
water,
exactly.
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you
That's
know, I
us.
need it.
That is exactly us. We went to the market in El Salvador. Like I said, the only people in the market, and it was crowded. They were all just selling things, but we got some bananas and some grapes, and those were some of the best fruit I've had probably all my life. And I mean, like we got,
Yes.
I think like 7, 8 bananas, like like the bananas, and it was $1.
Yep.
So many, like we took it, we ate it before we went on that hike because we didn't want to have like a heavy breakfast because we knew we were going to be outside. We had our bananas and our grapes before we did that mountain, and it was just some of the most fresh, most amazing fruit of our life. Like no, and that's why when we travel, we like to be with the locals. I know most, especially, I feel like young Black people, when we travel, we want to go and stay in a 5-star resort, and that's when it gets expensive because now you want to stay in the all inclusive. You want to, just get on the yacht. You just want to, those different things. We actually want to be in the culture. We want to be with the people. We were actually in a
Hmm.
music video in El Salvador. They put us in some music video. We were dancing with the locals.
Yeah,
and
you're gonna have to send me that link so I can put it in the show notes. You sure
I
was,
was,
because
yeah,
downtown was an area that they told us don't go to, right? And that's what a market was that you're talking about.
we
Like they
went.
told us don't go down there.
We went, and they were so sweet. I feel like the people that they say aren't they. Yeah, they did. The people that they say are, you know, I guess the gang and all of that stuff, those aren't the local people. Those people want them gone just as much as the travelers do. They are just
Hmm.
hardworking people. So you have to understand that once those people are out and they aren't around, the locals are so sweet. I mean, we were down there, they fed us, they gave us pupusas and like all wrapped up. They were like, here, here. They were so sweet. Honestly, me and my fiance said El Salvador and then Aruba are the two countries where they were just overly sweet. So yeah.
El Salvador is a vibe, so
Hmm.
let's spend. We're gonna spend a little bit of time on Santa Ana because I don't want to overlook that.
Oh no.
Shout out to Bert because and shout out to my line brother Cordell because we
If it
was at the
wasn't him,
back.
I would have turned
We was
that
in the back.
mountain. I would have turned around, but thank God he kept pushing me.
I was all the way in the back. I was out of shape mentally. I was going through some things during that time, but I didn't quit.
Mm-hmm.
But going back down for me, like so just to add some context, guys, Santa Ana is the highest volcano in El Salvador, and it takes 2.5 hours to go up, 2.5 hours to get back down.
Hmm.
And whenever you get to the top, 9 times out of 10, depending on the weather, you get to see the sulfur in the water. It turns the water into this beautiful baby blue color or
Yeah.
aqua color, whatever you want to call it. It was absolutely beautiful. I think the day we went, it was a little foggy
It was a little
inside the
foggy, and
volcano.
I was so devastated. I was so sad. It was a little foggy, but we saw it. We had to kind of stand to the edge, but once we stood to the edge, we could see it. But if you look at some pictures, it's so beautiful. And I was like, me and Bert actually will be going back to El Salvador, and we're gonna rehike it so we can get that view.
Yep, I am too. I said I'll never do it again, but I am. Like, now going down. Now we gotta warn the people too. Now, Kayla. Now coming down, you have to be careful. Those rocks, some of those rocks are very slippery. If you're looking for
Remember,
like a
it was
perfect
raining
trail,
for us. It
yeah,
was
yeah, it
raining
started
for us.
raining, it started thundering and lightning. I
Mm-hmm.
almost died because I started my feet started cramping, my legs started cramping. I almost fell, and nobody helping you out there. Like I'm all the way up there, and no helicopters coming to get me.
No,
You gotta finish. You gotta finish.
you
And
have
then
to.
something else I want to share with the people is that the moment that we had, and I got to be careful with how I say this because I have a lot of friends, Latinos and Latinas, but just being packed in that truck heading
Oh
back to the parking
yes.
lot.
I remember that. Honestly, yes, I remember. Oh wow, I wouldn't have thought about that again because I was just thinking about that hike. I remember that.
That's the memories that I gotta share, and if you don't have that memory, I'll be sure to send it to y'all. But it's
Oh my gosh, I remember you were recording.
that was a
Oh
memory. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I'm gonna have to send that to y'all. That was a memory. And some other things that people should check out is the lake that actually sits at the base of the volcano.
Mhm.
So y'all actually jet skied again. I know your first time was in the Bahamas,
Yeah, we
but y'all
did.
actually
We
went
did.
out there. And Jet, how was that
Yeah.
experience?
It was amazing. So we had dinner out there at one of the restaurants. So it's gonna be a lot of different restaurants on that. It's like a strip in a way. Would you call it like a it was like a strip. It's a lot of different
Yep.
restaurants there. But the one particular restaurant, I forgot the name, but it's in my vlog. I forgot the name of it, but we had dinner there, and then we did jet skiing again. The jet ski is $1, by the way, so it was so
It's
nice.
Lake
Uh,
Coatepeque.
Coatepeque,
Yeah,
Coatepeque, yeah, like
Coatepeque. See,
yes.
yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. It was really really nice. We were able to jet ski out there, had lunch out there. We went there right after the hike, so it was nice. I was starving by that point, so I was so happy to eat, and it was cool. It was nice.
What was it like? About 20 USD, 30 USD to get on the jet ski.
No, it was how much was it to get on the jet ski?
Ah, okay, okay.
Okay, a
A
dollar
dollar a
per
minute.
minute.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that's
yeah, that
fair.
sounds
That's
like a
fair.
dollar. Yep, yes, yes, yes. It was a dollar per minute. And we were just, it's big. The lake is a big lake, so you can go out and you have the jet ski to yourself. It's not like, on some of the jet ski, like for instance, when you're in the Bahamas, when you're doing a jet ski excursion, you kind of got to stay in the line and stay with everybody
Hmm.
with the excursion. You have the jet ski to yourself, so we were whipping it all up and down the lake. So, yeah, it
I
was
seen it.
cool.
You almost lost your phone too. I said,
Yep. Yep. Thank God I didn't flip over. That was the main thing. I was not trying to get wet, like completely wet.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was fun.
That was a great experience. It was raining too. Like y'all went right after, and
Mm-hmm.
me and Cordell went the day after.
Uh-huh.
So we both was tired. We went straight back to the room. We went to sleep. I'm gonna be honest, y'all.
Oh, I could imagine. I'm pretty sure after we
I
ate
was
and did that
done.
jet ski, we were done. Yeah, I'm
I
sure
was
we were
done.
done.
And it's something else I want to share. I was kind of I peeped at y'all story when y'all was there. But if y'all could find the name of that taco place that y'all went, where all those tacos was like $3, like
No, $1.50. It's called a
a
dollar
dollar
fifty.
fifty, $1.50 a taco. Y'all hear
That's
that?
the
A
name
dollar
of it.
fifty a taco. That's the
And they
name
have
of it. Dollar
way
fifty.
more than tacos. They have burgers.
Wow.
They have so everything in the restaurant is $1.50. The drinks, the burgers, the tacos. They have a lot of little cool food. Yeah, $1.50. My friend actually just went to El Salvador, and she of course was asking me like all the different stuff we went to, and we also did. So we do both. We were at the locals, and then we tap into the nice luxuries a little bit. Like we went to Nawi Beach House, so we tap into both sides. But yeah, that restaurant $1.50. When I tell you, they were like, "You want?" We got our money's worth because she was like, "You want this? We want." It was like, "Yeah, we'll take this," and she's used to it. It's $1.50, So it was nice, and the drinks were good. You would think they're completely trash because it's $1.50. They were good
Hmm.
though. The drinks were good ones.
Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. I wanna shift gears. I wanna shift gears for a second and get your perspective on, for one, being a black traveler. When I throw these numbers at you, to get your reaction to what you think about them. So,
Okay.
based on these statistics, only 49% of African Americans and minorities combined travel domestically.
Mm.
Only 17% travel internationally. Out of the 17%, if you take other ethnic and minority groups out, and it's just black people as a whole, we only account for 7.1% of international travel inside of the United States. So when I throw these numbers at you, what are your thoughts, and what do you think about those numbers when I throw them at you like that?
I
Are you
didn't
surprised
know.
by the numbers?
So surprised. I'm so surprised at it, but what I can say, I think it's gonna switch though. Our generation, we're traveling. I feel like when I think about my mom and my grandparents, like my mom have had a passport her whole life. She's probably used it once or twice. So I'm surprised by those numbers, but I do think a shift is coming just because we're now knowledgeable about it. Like when you see social media and you see they didn't see that. They just, they did their job and that was that. They didn't have the outlook to see that there's so much more than just here. So I am shocked by that number, but I do think that we're gonna increase each day. I see more people traveling who look like us, who are in our age range. So I say give it like 10 years, and I think we're gonna move up. Like I see it every day. Each time I get on social media, one of my friends are in another country. So and I know social media is a small platform, and people to this day still ask me how do we travel so often? So I know that it is still a lot of people out there who aren't traveling, who don't have a passport. For instance, my close friend, she's turning 30, and we're in the process of planning her trip to Panama. We'll be going to Panama, and then hopefully in January we'll be going to Peru for Bert's birthday. And I'm excited for
Uh-oh.
next year. But
I
she's
was
never
I was in
traveled.
Peru in June. It's dope.
Oh, we got
Y'all
to
gonna
get
love
with
it.
you then.
I got
Oh,
y'all.
he said that's why he wants
Yeah,
to go. He saw your
yeah.
content because he told
I
me he
got
wanted to go
y'all.
to Peru. He told me he wanted to
I
go
got
there.
y'all.
So yeah, I didn't know that. So yes, he saw your content. That's why he wants
Look,
to
I
go.
actually got the head on.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
got the head. Yeah.
no, yes.
Yeah, I
So
got the
that's
head on. Yeah.
okay. We got to get with you to get the itinerary. So he wants to go there for his birthday, but yeah, that number is. But people like you, that number will go up just by the platform that you have, and you're bringing awareness to it. So yeah, we'll get up, and I'm not I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised, you know. But I do know that there's future for us, there's hope for us, and we're getting out there, just like content like this, making people more aware, knowing that it's possible for I would call myself an average earner. Like you don't have to be some multi-millionaire or just feel
Say it
like you
again for the
have.
people in the back here.
Yeah, you don't have to be that. Like I, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not. I still have a long way to go in life, but I'm not going to sit and wait until I feel like I'm at my point to experience the world because it's just when you think about it, if you maybe stop going out to eat every couple days and even if you feel like you have to save a little bit, it's attainable. It's attainable. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You brought up an interesting point, and a lot of people not gonna like this analogy. Most people that know me, y'all know I'm blunt. But hey, for y'all that's listening and watching, guess what? We all gonna die one day. If that's not the motivation to get you off your feet,
Mm,
and tomorrow is not promised, if that's not
no.
motivation to get you off your feet, I don't know what will, because I've known so many great colleagues of mine that I worked with in previous companies. They get to
Mm,
retirement age, it's like, man, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna travel, and within
mm.
a few months after retirement, unfortunately they pass away.
Or get very
And
ill.
yeah, or get ill, and I'm not trying to live my life like that. While we have our youth, we're
Yeah.
going to hike the highest mountains in El Salvador. We're going to
Yeah.
jet ski in the Bahamas, jet ski in all
Yeah.
these different countries. We're going to try new things, eat food that may potentially tear our stomach up. But hey, it's cool. It's cool.
Exactly.
We
Because
we
think
young. We
about
can
it.
handle
Exactly, because if and it's so interesting. Like people that I'm working with now, when I'm in a new company now, and people like they just want to travel when they retire and things. And I always think about that. You made a great point. Hiking and jet skiing. When you're older, when you travel, what are you really gonna do? Except sit on the
it.
beach all day. Like I feel like you won't even really enjoy the country unless I mean I know people are older and are in great shape, so but you know what I mean. I agree. While we're young, like why not? So
Definitely,
I get you. I
definitely.
get that.
I wanna take this time out to dive into anything that you want to share. I can't end this episode without you giving us more context into your business, because you transitioned very quickly after I met you, and then you came out with this line, and like everything just flowed how it was supposed to flow. And
Mhm.
can you dive into your brand, your business, how you came up with the idea,
Mhm.
what inspired you to start that business,
Yeah.
and just ways that people can support you, and how they can get your products.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's so interesting because when we were actually in El Salvador, I brought my bottles and I was taking pictures of it in El
Oh,
Salvador
okay,
to
okay.
get content. So it was in the works, but it just wasn't public yet. So that's so interesting. You met me right when it went out to the public. But again, first of all, thank you so much for having me. This was so much
Yeah.
fun, just reminiscing.
Oh
Like
yeah, no
that.
problem.
This was so much fun. Like I really, really enjoyed it. This has made my day. But if you want to contact with me more, like he said, I have a hair care line called Grandma's Hands Hair Care. And it really just started from love. Like if you think of the name whenever I talk about my brand and they hear the name, they're always asking what made you think of that name. And it's strictly like the name is my grandma. When I was younger, My grandma showed love to my hair. I was completely, if you're a black woman watching this, I was that girl, completely natural throughout my whole life. Got my first relaxer in 10th grade. So now, how everyone's going natural now, I was that girl who was completely natural, got picked on, big afro, and I just at that time didn't look like other people and was trying to find love within myself. And I always relate back to my grandma because she always loved my hair, always you took care of my hair, made sure it was healthy, made sure I knew that I
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful, even though my texture wasn't the same as people who had the straight long relaxers. And now it's so interesting how the world has shifted. Now everybody is back natural and it's nice to see. But I was that girl who, when everybody wanted that other look, I was there. So I've been doing this since I was a kid. But long story short, it's a hair growth oil and it's doing so well. I get so many reviews about it, how it's really changing so many women's lives and how it's really growing out their hair. But like I said, it's also a faith based business. I pray over every order before I ship it out. We pray over hair growth, but just growth in your life. So definitely check it out. It's Grandma's Hands Hair Care. I'll be doing a Black Friday sale, so if you all are interested, that's probably the best time to try it out. It's going to be a huge sale. So, yeah, and then I have YouTube, which is Kayla Delores TV, where I talk about my business, I talk about beauty, and I also talk about travel. A Guatemala vlog is coming next week. I went to Guatemala earlier, like a month ago, trying to get that content edited and out. It's so much content. So, if y'all interested in going to Guatemala, that'll be up. And other than that, um, my Instagram, Kayla_Delores, where you can see it all. The lifestyle, the business, the travel, all in one. So yeah, that's me and
That's it.
I'm just really
That's
excited to be
it.
here.
We gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go live. We're gonna have to go live on IG and talk about Guatemala. I was just we got so excited about El Salvador just because we met there. But
Uh-huh.
guys, I hope that y'all truly enjoy. We have to go live and talk about Guatemala because I've talked to
Yes.
multiple guests and they consider Guatemala in the top three. They said it's a sleeper country. They said
Yeah,
it's a sleeper country.
I get
Yeah.
that. And that was actually that's a very different trip for me because I actually went with 16 strangers. So I didn't know I knew one person on a trip. Everyone else was a stranger. So that we could talk about that. That is a very interesting trip, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
So
Yep, definitely, definitely. I also can't end this episode without saying that. Congratulations, Bert. If you can hear me, man, congratulations on y'all engagement. You know, I
Appreciate you.
wish y'all well, man. Peace, love, blessings, prosperity, man, for y'all too. And shout out to Black Love. I know this is a travel podcast, but let's shout out to Black Love as well. You know,
thank you.
did everything the right way, man. Had a chance. I had a chance to look at, look at the engagement, the reel. Everything was beautiful. Everything was
Thank
amazing, and I wish y'all nothing but the best. Nothing but the
We
best.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yep, no problem. So again, if y'all haven't had a chance to follow Kayla, please do so. Her information is gonna be in the show notes as well for y'all to follow her, so y'all don't have to search for her. I'll have all the links available at the bottom in the show notes. You can just click on that. Make sure y'all follow her. Make sure that you support her business.
Thank you.
Make sure that you support our business, and not only women but also men. Men,
Yeah.
hello. We have beards. We They
Yes.
need to be moisturized, conditioned, and the proper solutions that we need to help us grow our beards in the correct
Yeah.
way,
My
grow
fiance
our
uses it
hair in the
every
correct
single
way as
night.
well.
So
That's
yes.
it. That's it. So men and
Hmm.
women that's listening to this, y'all be sure to support her. Her content is absolutely amazing. Again, like I said, and
Hmm.
again, for those that I hope that out this episode y'all learned that the importance of this episode was to show y'all that, for me, even though Kayla went with her fiance at the time, and I went solo, you're never traveling alone. You have
Yeah.
to be able to get out of your comfort zone. Again, I told the story so to add context, right? If I was to stay introverted throughout the entire trip, we never would have became friends. We never would continue to communicate outside of when we left El Salvador. So it's
Yeah.
good as a solo traveler. Listen to some of the tactics that Kayla brought up about how to stay safe in these countries. But also as a solo traveler, or if you're traveling as a group, be open to a new culture. Also, don't don't be stuck up whenever you see an American, yo. Like go speak.
Yes.
Go speak. Go speak. You know what I'm saying? Speak. Get to know that person, because you will be surprised how well connected interests that you share with them. So
Hmm.
when, even though El Salvador was my first country, I was not alone. I met
Yeah.
y'all. We had great experiences. It's just ironic that we met hiking the highest volcano in the
I
country.
know that's
You
a
know?
memory in itself.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'll never forget coming down. It was raining. I ended up
It
getting
was
sick,
a lot.
actually. I got sick.
Really?
Yeah, I got sick. Yeah, I was wet. I was soaking wet. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it
That
was,
was a
it was,
day.
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But guys, y'all heard it here first. Like I said, this is episode number 2. I'm sorry, season two, ep 15.
Hmm.
Again, for those that are truly enjoying the show, be sure to leave a review. So many ways to support us, but the biggest way you can do is write us a review. And the biggest way that you can support this podcast is supporting the guest on the show. Be
That's interesting.
sure, again, everything that I told y'all about Kayla, be sure to follow her. Be sure to check out her information and support her business. And y'all know my motto. I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is just too crowded.
I
Peace.
know that's right.